Hello, and welcome to the Everyday Leader Podcast, a place for those of us who take the bull by the horns and lead the heck out of our everyday lives. I'm your host, Kat Rippey, wife, mother, and CEO of Energize LeadHERship. This podcast is for everyday people, just like us, who tackle life to make the most of it and to make a real difference. Life looks different for each of us, but we all have good days and bad days, and we don't always get credit with bold newspaper headlines or celebrity status. Every week, I'm bringing you everyday leaders who take leadership seriously, whether at work or at home, and everywhere in between. Tune in for life hacks, personal insights, and a good time. Renee Dominguez is the founder and CEO of Empowered LeadHERship, a consultancy focused on supporting today's women in leadership. Renee made a career for herself in project management and global supply chain in manufacturing organizations like Sony, Ericsson, Entropic, and LifeProof. Despite choosing a field that fit her talents, continuing to sharpen her skills, and devoting her life to her work, she still found herself deflated and unable to gain fulfillment from her work and a seat at the table. Lucky for us, Renee has renewed her life mission and is now focused on bringing tangible support to the women in today's workforce so we can all be stronger together. I'm thrilled to introduce you to Renee so we can hear a bit of her story and what she is now bringing to the table. Please join me in welcoming Renee. Hi, Renee. Thanks for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Kat. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear a little bit more about you and your experiences and what you're doing today. So are you ready to kind of jump right in?
I am.
All right, cool. Let's do it. I'm curious if you could tell me a little bit about your background and what has brought you to where you are today and what you're doing today.
Well, my background consists of the corporate world, corporate America, working in project management and supply chain. I went to USC to get to get my master's in global supply chain so I can have mastery in what I was doing.
Wow.
I was having...
That's commitment.
Yeah, it's big commitment. And I thought this was going to solve all my problems.
All right.
And I quickly found
Yours
out...
and everyone else's, right?
Yeah. I quickly discovered it was not the answer.
Okay.
And so I decided to look inside myself and decide, what do I want to do? I was having a hard time in the industry I was in. My whole career has been in male-dominant industries, and being a woman trying to use my voice, have my self-confidence, and be heard was almost impossible. Got it.
And you kind of chalk that up to the male-dominated industries or the way that those organizations were working? Kind of tell me more about how that came about.
So I've always been in manufacturing, and with manufacturing, it's very male dominant in regards to the executive team, the leaders, the management. And I was always usually the only female in meetings in upper level management, and it was really hard holding my own when I was always being talked down to, talked over, skipped over when it was time for promotions. And that's why I went to USC, because I'm like, I'm going to be smarter than all these guys. But I realized I never had an advantage.
Got it. You'd always be fighting the female thing.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Sounds a little painful.
Very painful.
And so with the soul searching, what'd you turn up?
So I did like a deep dive on myself, doing some soul searching and really what makes me excited? Why do I want to get up in the morning? What do I want to do? And as I started sharing this question with other people, I started to find out that I had a voice helping others, that my experience, I went through this, and my experience was to be able to share the story with others. And then I quickly found out I wasn't the only one.
Yeah.
Others were having the same struggles, the same pain points, and they wanted someone to help them as well with, we're talking about it, but what do we do about it? We don't know. So that was an aha moment for me.
Ah, wow. And such a relevant kind of point in time.
Yes.
Over this last year as well.
Yes.
There's a lot of readiness for doing something about it. So what are you focused on in terms of doing something about it?
So I decided to work one-on-one with women. And I quickly found out that, no, they want something bigger. They want a bigger platform. So I was like, okay. How do I do this? And what does that look like? So I decided to create a workshop. And I had someone who said, yes, do that. I would love to collaborate with you, just in regards to some input, being a woman leader, having her own business, having men work under her who don't respect her.
Right.
And she had the same struggles. So she said she wanted to be a part of a change.
Okay.
So I just finished creating my workshop that I will launch next month in regards to teaching women how to be heard, seen, and respected in the workplace.
Wow, beautiful. So you found a comrade to kind of partner with and bring that to the world.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
So cool. And I'm sure we'll see more along that line in the coming years, but I think having that voice is critically important right now, so it's awesome. Tell me what it is that you love about this place where you are right now and doing what you're doing. What is it that brings you the most fulfillment?
What I'm loving the most right now is the impact I've seen I have on other women who are women in leadership roles. To know that my hardships, my cries, my
pain,
the pains, the emotional pains, the physical pain that we put upon ourselves when we carry all that stress wasn't for nothing. And I'm able to share this with others and just see how it resonates with them. And it makes me get emotional knowing that I'm following my truth. And I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I spent my whole career being someone I created in my head.
Having to be who you needed to be to survive.
Yes, and I thought I had this whole persona, hence why I was a business person, and I was climbing that corporate ladder. I created this person who I thought I was supposed to be, just to find out that's not who I was supposed to be.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
We, at Energize Leadership, we focus quite a bit on the self first, because so often we all of us get off track in our own way, right? In terms of being what you need to be for somebody else, for wherever you are at that point in time. So that's really a really important message. So taking kind of a broader angle, what do you think some of the major challenges today are in leadership in general? And definitely add the flavor of the women, ladies, because that is definitely its own challenge. But just summarize for me what you're seeing out there as some of the current challenges in the workplace, in the arena of leading within organizations.
Yes, definitely. That's a great question. And I have been